Hi guys, it's Mrs. Cutlass from class. Last week I thought I didn't need to send a video and then it ended up that I did, so I want to make sure that I send this out. This week we are doing borrowed conflict, and that basically means that you're going to take a story and you're going to make it your own, but I should be able to tell what the story is by reading it. So an example I gave in class was Romeo and Juliet takes the story from Romeo and Juliet. Or if you've ever seen 10 Things I Hate About You, it takes The Taming of the Shrew. Bless everybody's hearts. We went over this a lot, but don't do a movie. Don't do anything too big because you're going to find that it gets really long and really gets away from you. So I want you to do something where you could tell the original story in 3 paragraphs. If you would need more than that to tell the original story, it's too long. So I want to give you guys an example. So I'm going to read to you. This is one that my daughter did last year. So, once upon a time, there was a family of 4, a mom, a dad, a 4th-grade brother named Logan, and a 7-year-old sister who was named Abigail, who had green eyes and was obnoxious. Every time the family traveled in their car, Abigail would yell that her older brother had hit her, even though he hadn't. Then, the brother would have to do the dishes for 2 weeks as punishment. One day, the mother happened to look in the mirror and see that Logan wasn't punching Abigail, who was just lying, and she was very angry. From then on, whenever Abigail yelled that Logan had hit her, the mom didn't believe her story. Unfortunately for Abigail, one day she was seated in the car and kept poking Logan with a freshly sharpened, seriously sharp pencil. He told her to stop, but she didn't listen. He hit her. Abigail cried out, "Mom, he hit me." However, the mom just told her to stop lying. She then told Abigail that she was grounded for a week and that she had to do the dishes for 2 weeks for lying about her brother. Every time that Logan watched Abigail doing the dishes, he chuckled to himself in his head because of all the times he had unfairly been punished. Abigail had to learn the hard way that nobody trusts a liar even when they tell the truth. So what you've got right there is obviously the boy who cried wolf, but the characters are changed and the details of the story are changed. We don't have a wolf in this story. We don't have any kind of an animal, but we have someone who is repeatedly telling a lie. And then when it actually happens, nobody believes them because they've lied so many times. And your story should be the same way. Even if the characters' names are different or they're different animals or they're animals instead of people, I should be able to read your story and say, oh, that is very clearly the story of the little red hen, or oh, that is very clearly one of Aesop's fables, or that is very clearly a Bible story that you've just changed the details about. Okay? The other thing is I am not giving half credit anymore. So up until and including the papers you turned in last week, I've given half credit. So if you didn't have LY words underlined, but you had them, I've underlined them for you and given you half credit because you had it, but you didn't complete the directions and underline it. That is not going to be the case going forward. So if you turn in a paper and you didn't underline anything, you're not going to get any points. So make sure that you're doing exactly what it says and you're marking your paper. We had a lot of people last week that did not mark strong verbs, and strong verbs were required. So make sure you're marking those strong verbs too. Okay? Trying to think what else. I'm going to, I think I put a link actually last week for The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood. It's by Pyle, P-Y-L-E. It was on sale for me on Kindle, and I got it for like 86 cents. So if you haven't gotten it yet, go ahead and do that. And that's an option for extra credit. I think that's it. If you have questions, comments, you need me to look at your paper before you turn it in, I can do all of those things, but just remember you don't want to go too long. And if you find yourself going over, I'm going to say like a page and a half, 2 pages, especially if you're typing, you are going too far. You're stressing yourself out. It's unnecessary. And I would really encourage you guys to start making sure that you're typing your papers or having your parents type your papers. It's not necessary for you to type it yourself. But typing your papers is a really good way to be able to turn in a clean copy later, because if you hand wrote it, then it's hard for you to go back and do another clean copy because you have to hand write everything again. And So yeah, so let's all start to be typing our papers because I think that's going to make the editing process a lot easier for everyone. And also, guys, your your pictures don't get you so much extra credit that you need to be spending eons on them. Okay, so I want you guys to be doing your extra credit illustrations if you have time. But don't stress yourself out about them and don't spend like hours and hours and hours doing them because it's actually not that many points compared to your paper. So you're better off doing a great job on your paper and then doing an illustration if you have a minute. And it doesn't have to be a whole page either. You can do, in the little bit of space that's at the bottom of your paper, you can do something there. So it can just be something simple and it's supposed to be fun. If that's stressing you out, don't do it. No big deal. I think that's everything. I hope you guys have a great week. If you have questions, comments, concerns, please let me know and I will be happy to help you out. All right. Have a great week. I'll see you Tuesday.